Hello, my loves. It's she here with Golden Thread Tarot, and I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this message is finding you blessed and full of abundance as always, my sweets. Whew. Okay, so first two things to start off with. Sorry if it's a little darker in here than it normally is. It is super hot outside, so I have a lot of my blinds and windows closed around the house, so to kind of trap out some of the heat coming in, but y'all, it's crazy. Also, I cut my grass today, so I'm a little low on energy, but I'm still here. So if I seem a bit tired, or that's why. I'm just physically tired. But we're going to march on anyway. I have a story unfolding here. We're going to draw. I have one card drawn right here, but I'm already kind of feeling it. So it is the Five of Wands. I'm going to say the Five of Swords, but it's not the Five of Swords. It's the Five of Wands. And on the back of the deck here of the pre-shuffle, we have the King of Swords. And we also have the Kipper deck out here, and we have Pathway. I believe if this message, of course, keep in mind that this is a general message. Not all of this. All of it, or only a piece of it, might resonate for you or someone else in your life that you're pulling energy for, or that you have questions on. Let what resonates resonate. What doesn't, let it go. It's for somebody else. Okay? And I feel like you're on a path of transformation. You are... because I see someone turning their back. So it's giving me like the Eight of Cups energy as well. I see someone turning their back on some type of back and forth, some type of drama, some type of like... it's this energy of... yeah, because I just feel somebody sitting there. It's like you're the person sitting there watching all this fighting and this commotion. Like it's like almost basically like I can hear all these women like fighting and no, we did this, no, we did that, and the cats are down there, you know, all this to this card, right? And I feel like you're just like looking like in the past you might have been involved in this, but it still feels like you're outside of it. You know, it still feels like you're in this position where you don't really want to be a part of this. You know, it might be friends, it might be family, it might be a work environment or some place that you feel like it's almost like I don't want to be here, I have to be here. Like I have a legal obligation to be here, or I have, you know, a professional obligation to be here, or I have a familial obligation to be here. And it feels like somebody has gone through a transformation of self where it's like, actually, you know what? I don't have to be here. I don't have to care about all this nonsense. And actually, don't involve me in your drama, actually. Don't call me in. Don't call me up. Don't invite me to come over and be involved in whatever drama that you're dealing with, because I just don't want to hear about it, you know? I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to be a part of it. And you've walked away from that. I feel like currently now, you have walked away from that. And you walking away from that and removing your energy, because I'm hearing judgment. I think it is allowing whatever drama or whatever, you are being protected. And you were being steered away from this drama. Whatever this Five of Wands is in this situation, you were being steered to get out of this situation, to leave, to depart from this, to divorce this person, to break up with them, to leave that job, to leave that friend group, to walk or to just put your foot down and say, no, these are my boundaries. I'm not getting involved in that. Don't call me. Don't come over here. Don't bring that drama over here to me. I'm over here worried about myself. And I see you literally turning your back on all this fighting and back and forth and chaos and walking away from it. Now, of course, this could also be an energy within yourself. You could have felt this very back and forth energy, a very chaotic energy in your mind and your body between you and your spirit. However it resonates with you. You have turned your back on that, and you have set your path to, because look how tranquil and peaceful. Which one of these situations would you rather be in? Would you rather be walking through the woods, just chilling, butterflies falling around? Look how tranquil and peaceful that looks. Versus here, with all this chaos. You know, it's kind of almost giving me like they're in like a little cottage in the woods, and you just like, you look down and you see that the fire is like spreading, and you're just like, you know what? I'm getting out of here. And you just turn around and walk away from it. And you're just walking around outside, and these butterflies are like, hey, come over here to the light. Come and lead yourself away. And 35 breaks down to an 8. So there is some type of karma that's going on in this. And I feel like you were removed from this. You were saved. You were protected from this. And you walked away from it, turned your back on it, and headed more towards in the light direction, you know? And a more truer, authentic version of yourself. And I feel like there is a person here. Let's really get into the thick of the story now. I feel like there's a person here who is bringing the truth. See how this person is like, well, actually, if you would turn to page 3, right here, I have the text messages. I have the written message. I have the documents that prove you're a liar. That's the energy that this King of Swords is giving me. It's giving me the fact that there is somebody. Now, whether this be an actual 3D person, if this is a spirit guide, angel, who higher dimensional being, whatever it is, this energy is bringing forth the truth, okay? And the truth, your truth, as well as the truth of a group of people or a particular person that really kept this group of people in a bunch of drama. The truth of it is being told, and it's being read in front of like a larger population of people. People are seeing the truth of what's going on here. And it's because you removed your energy from this. Would you look at that? Yeah. And look, message of concern is here on the back underneath the pathway. And I think that this, whatever this is, this actually, if you look at the fine print of the contract, actually, the truth of the matter is this, and this. Somebody here also wears glasses, because you know how somebody, like, they have glasses on and they like push their glasses up their nose, or they're kind of like fiddling with their glasses and they're like, actually, like they put their glasses down on their nose and they're like, actually, let me tell you about the truth of this situation. That is a situation that is unfolding now, and it is causing chaos. It's causing chaos to break out in this group. See how everybody's fighting back and forth. They're not paying attention to the fact that the cauldron is bubbling over, and that this bubbling over is causing the fire down here underneath the cauldron to spread. And even their cats, which are like their guardians, right? In this deck, the cats are like their familiars, their guardians, their protectors. Even they are so distracted fighting amongst themselves that they are not noticing that the fire is spreading. Something is going on here. This group is falling apart, and it's pulling itself apart from the inside because some type of truth has come out here. Okay? And I feel like you, on the other hand, like I said, you turned your back, went on this walk, this transformational walk through the forest, through the woods, right, towards the light. And I feel like you are coming into contact with soulmates, whether they be familial, just friendship-wise, romantic-wise. I don't know why my voice broke right there when I said friendship. I don't know what that is. I don't know if this is somebody that you could come into contact or come back into contact with somebody that you were really good friends with when you were like a teenager. For some of you, this could be like an old friend, or like you moved to like a new town, or you start a new job or something like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, so and so, like I haven't seen you in forever, and you guys just click and pick right back up like no time has passed. And it's like, oh, it's so good to see you. How has your life been? How has this been? How has that been? And it's like, good. I've been doing this and I've been doing that. And, and this doesn't strike me as somebody that you had any kind of anything like that you guys stopped being friends because of some kind of drama or something like that. It's just somebody, you grew up, you moved away, you went to college, they went to college in a different place or something like that. And you just lost touch. But you've never really, they've had life going on. You've had life going on. You never really purposely weren't talking to them. You just, time and, and you had other friends. They had other friends. Other stuff was going on. But this feels like somebody that you could come back into contact with. Okay? And that won't be the case. This could be new people. I think it feels like a combination of all of it. And it's because you are going on this evolutionary path, because you chose to walk away and stay out of this drama. You're actually coming into contact with the real deal, right? You're leaving behind karmic tests and drama and things behind you. And as you are turning away and walking away and coming into contact with, you know, those long-term people who are actually going to feel like your real family. You know what I mean when I say that, right? Real friends, real family. It's like, damn, like this is what it was supposed to be. This is what friendship was supposed to feel like. This is what family was supposed to feel like. This is what kindness and love and support and being there for each other. This is what that really feels like, right? And for some of you in that situation, you and this person could have gone on very different paths. Like if you were in that situation where you're running back into a person from your past that you're still on good terms with, right? I feel like you will be able to look back and see the point where, you know, you kind of got mixed up with the quote unquote wrong crowd sort of type thing. You see how this group of people really led you down a path of self-destruction, led you down a path of not, you know, of not really living in your truth, a lot of karma, a lot of lessons that you needed to go through and that you needed to learn. And now you're like, oh, I remember when it felt, what it felt like when things were simple and things were beautiful and things were kind. And it's like, wow, we picked right back up and we're going right back to that feeling again. You know, that's a really strong energy for maybe even just one of you. I don't know, but that's a really strong energy. There's a really strong like kinship, friendship energy coming in here. And Spirit just wants to keep saying, you know, like you are going to be, not like people are your reward, but it's like that's what you have. If you have the bravery and the strength to turn away from this and to really cut this off, that's what you have to look forward to. Things that really feel real, things that are just like, wow, this is the feeling in this old group. That's the feeling that I always wanted to feel like. But here, I actually really feel that way. And you might have less friends. You might not have as many. They might look different, you know. But the most important thing is they're going to feel different. And I feel like you and this person or these people are going to see how they're burning away. And there's that like monster, kind of like smoke monster person entity that they're kind of releasing. I feel like both of you are going to feel like, damn, I really went through some shit in my past. And now we're coming together and now we both know how to not go back there. We both know what we don't want. We both know what we don't want in partners. We both know who the people that we don't want to be, you know? And now we are crafting and creating something different, something new. 10 of Pentacles, right? This is 3 of Pentacles. These are people that you have soul contracts with to really create that new life, that new legacy, right? Because you were leaving behind those people that represent the old legacy, the old 10 of Pentacles that represented the old karmic contracts, 1313 down on the clock, the old karmic contracts, the old people. Exactly. Come on, look, courthouse. Justice on the bottom of the deck. Things are being balanced out. Things are being balanced out here. And you're actually, and some part of you feels like you had to give up something, but you're going to realize that you really didn't give up anything. That the Spirit doesn't ask you to walk away from anything that they're not going to replace with something better. And that's what it feels like. Great fortune. 26 breaks down to an 8 as well. Come on now. I'm telling you, Spirit is telling you, like, you're like this is kind of like a karmic payout that you're getting, because it's like you did the work. You did the work to walk away and overcome this issue that you had here in the past. And not that I feel like you really care anymore, but these old people, they are, this old group, they are really getting their karmic payout out of what they sowed. Their seeds, okay, they're reaping what they sowed. And they sowed discord. They sowed conflict. Come on now, courthouse. There's a lot of divine change. 23 breaks down to 5. Like there's a lot of divine change coming here into this group. Come on now. Adjudication. That's the judgment card. Come on now. You know, and I feel like in the past you could have been blinded to the truth of this 5 of Wands. But now you see it for the chaos and for, you know, for what it really is. Privileged woman. Privileged woman fell out over here over great fortune. You are grounding in this 10 of Pentacles. Becoming the privileged woman. Privileged lady, privileged man, whoever. You know? But it is giving me like Queen of Pentacles kind of energy. Come on. Main female energy. It's also giving me High Priestess energy here too as well. There's a lot of like trust. It's like trust in the unknown, right? You didn't know what was going to be at the end of this garden path when you decided to say, you know what? Because for maybe possibly your whole life so far, this is all you've known. And when this is all you've known, this is all you know. But there was some kind of divine intervention here that came in and took place to break you away from this karma, from this drama, and to give you this position of like stepping back and seeing it for what it really is. And although I'm sure it felt like a tower moment, there's power that comes with that. Can I get a clarifier for that card, please, Spirit? Nope. On the table, please. Can I get a clarifier for this card? Please, Spirit. Okay. Spirit really doesn't want to talk about the past for real. Come on now. Here we have the mature man, the house card, and the marriage card. I mean, I'm just saying. This is you building that partnership, that home, that feeling of being home. That feeling of feeling very fortunate with the life that you're walking in. Feeling divinely guided towards this new life that you're crafting and that you're creating here. Wow. Yeah. Oh, there's the clarifier. I'm just going to tell you, somebody here in your past, they're heartbroken that you walked away from this situation. But I think it's because they're being left with whatever energy they tried to put off on you, whatever blame they tried to put off on you. You know what it's giving? It's giving me you're the scapegoat. It's giving me while you were here in this situation, all these people had a common like enemy or had like a common person to be like point out and be like, you're the problem. But when you removed your energy from this, they started bickering and fighting and quarreling with each other amongst themselves. Because that's all they know how to do. Right? Because when that's all you know, that's all you know. And that's what it's really given me. It's really given me this energy here that like, oh man, like we don't have our scapegoat. We don't have our person to point the finger out and blame anymore. And it is giving me once you stepped away from this, here you are, lovers, marriage, great fortune. Hey baby, privileged lady. Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. You know, life's getting good. Oh, it's so hot with you in my arms. It is. It's so hot with you. Oh. Mm. Mm. Oh my goodness, you just need so many kisses. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. Look at that face. But that's what it's giving me. It's giving me, well, who do we blame? Well, who do we call out? Well, who do we make the issue? Who do we say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, babe. I'm doing something. I love you. Who do we say is the issue? Who do we say is the problem if it's not you? When we don't have that person to point our finger at, we start picking ourselves. We start picking each other apart. These people really only liked each other in being united and going against you. That's kind of crazy. He just put so much hair on my face. Lord. Queen of Cups. And the truth is that you were the kind, loving, gentle person who was here pouring and pouring and pouring. Now, I'm not saying you were completely innocent, because when you're in the Five of Wands, you're in the Five of Wands. You're getting it, and you're throwing elbows, and you're fighting, and you're, no, the frog needs to go in there. No, the herbs need to go in there. No, this needs to go in there. No, that needs to go in there. You used to be a part of this too. But I think the situation here is that there was a particular person here who really sought you. This group of people, it gives me like, you were like the nicest. We're gonna have to be honest, and if it doesn't fit you, don't let the shoe fit. I'm just saying, the energy that it's giving me here is like, you're the nicest person in a group of mean girls, right? You're like the one that's like, do we have to make fun of that person? Do we have to say that? And it's giving me like, these people used your empathy or used your kindness to say, they used it against you in a way to say like, oh, well, you're so kind-hearted, you're sweet, you're too sweet, you're too nice, you're too empathetic, you care about people too much, you should be more like us, or in just a sense where these people can feel that you were the nice one, you were the sweet one, you were the one that cared about people, and they took advantage of that. They took advantage of the 1,000 different chances that you gave them to be better or to do better or to not, to not do you wrong or not lie on you or not, And that's what it gives me. And if this is a family situation, it definitely is giving me like, you're like the black sheep. You're the scapegoat of the family. And now that you have removed yourself, or when you remove yourself, they're used to having somebody to attack. They're used to having somebody to point the finger at. They're used to having somebody to hold all the blame and the shame and the guilt and the, because when they look at you, they don't see themselves. And that makes them feel bad about themselves. So they point that finger at you like, no, you're the problem. You're the problem because you're the one saying, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. You're the one sitting there saying, maybe this isn't the best way to act. You're the one that thinks you're so above us and you're so much better than us because you feel like this and you do that and you'd never do that and you'd never do this. Miss Goody Two Shoes or Mr. Goody Two Shoes or whatever kind of energy. And it's like, sorry that I'm a decent person and I don't want to be involved in all the drama and on all the crap and all the craziness. Like, and it's giving me this like, no. Like, I don't want to be involved in this. I don't want to be a part of this. I want to be free from this. So I'm going to turn my back and I'm going to walk away from it. I'm going to stop giving to this. I'm going to learn how to have boundaries and I'm going to stick up for myself. And if it's a situation where it's like the abuser or the narcissist or the person that's the real bully of the group, when they don't have that person to point fingers at, now they're pointing fingers at the other person. That's like, wait a minute, it was okay when you were going after this person, but don't go after me. What about them? And that other person is like, me? What about you? You do this. Well, you do that. And the bully's like, well, both of y'all do this, and that leads to this energy right here where they're like, well, you do this and you do that and you said this and you blah, blah, For some of you, I'm also getting that this is like a couple. And if this is a situation where it's like a couple were working against you, when you disengage with this, or when the person couldn't be, when the side chick turned into the main chick, it wasn't that glamorous anymore. It was only fun when they were sneaking around, when they were lying, when they had you to sit there and he's sitting there, oh, she nags all the time, or oh, he's so pathetic. He does this and he does that, and he runs away, or she always wants me to do this or that. And then the side chick is sitting there, well, I don't do that. I don't nag you. I'm the cool chick. I'm the one that just lets you get away with this or that, or doesn't do that. And they're like, yeah, that's why I keep you. That's why you're here. That's why you're the good one. You're the cool one. But when the main disappears and they're not just together to do the slizzy slide, when they don't have you to sit there and complain and talk about, when they're each other's main now, it's like, now I see why she nagged at you. Because all you do is do this. And all you do is sit around. And you always want to be out somewhere. And you always want to be doing something. It's like, where are you? Why don't you come home? Why don't you spend time with me? Like, I'm finally your girlfriend. And you're just out and about on the town with some, like, where are you? Who are you with? Their relationship started on a foundation of cheating, or on a foundation of running around, or on a foundation of lies. So they don't trust each other. Now it's just fighting and arguing. And oh, it was fun when he could lay there and nag about you, and she felt superior, or whatever the role, the gender roles were in the situation. Oh, you're so much better. Oh, you're so much more exciting. Oh, you can lay it down for so many more hours than they can. They're just pathetic. They're blah, blah, blah. Oh, you go to the gym and they don't. They're sad. They're miserable. I wonder why. Because they got a partner like you. I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that they're sad, why they're sad, or they're miserable, or why they're angry. Maybe. But if you were in a situation like that, the side chick, or the once was side chick, understands why. They're sitting there going, I understand why she nagged you all the time. I understand why this person was going through your phone. I understand why they always had complaints about you. Because now I heard you complain. Excuse me, sir. I heard you complain about them complaining about this and about that. And now as your main chick, as your main girlfriend, I have the same complaints about you. I see why they complained about you. I see why they nagged you all the time. Because here I am, sitting here going, why don't you spend time with me? Why aren't you around me? Why aren't you doing that? Why don't you say that? Why don't you communicate with me? Why don't you open up emotionally? Why don't we have a real relationship? Why is the only time we have any passion or happiness in our relationship is when we're doing the slizzy slide? Like, well, that's what happens when you base a relationship only around hating someone. Or like I said, if it's a friendship group, it's some weird, like when they're not around, all they're doing is talking about you, sort of type-ish. And now that you're gone, they're just picking apart each other. And they mad too. Ooh, and they mad too because the Empress. Not you glowing up on them. The King of Pentacles. Come on now. Not you glowing up on them and getting the bag. Not you glowing up on them and getting an upgrade in your partnerships, or just being the upgrade yourself. You know, now that you're not depressed and down all the time because this person is pulling you down or cheating on you, or this friendship group is draining your energy, or your family is draining your energy, keeping you small, sabotaging you out of your good relationships or out of your opportunities. Now that you turn your back on that, suddenly your fortune changes around. You're getting money. You got that good job. You're emotionally stabilizing yourself so that, you're going to, maybe you're going to therapy, maybe you're getting counseling, maybe, so all that, they're starting to see that. So who exactly was the emotional one? Was the emotionally dysregulated one? Because I'm the one over here grounding in, doing better with my life, and you're the one over there having an emotional breakdown. And I mean, not to make fun of somebody who's having an emotional breakdown, but in this situation, it seems like, or if you had friends or family that are like, you'll never make it without me, you'll never do good without me, you're just a sad, miserable person, or like you could never make it if you went out there on your own, or if you started that business. I don't know. I've definitely heard this story before on our channel. Is there any kind of new information about this? I mean, I understand we could have different people reaching this kind of same thing at the same time. Yeah. And if you haven't reached this state yet, Spirit is saying, Four of Swords, put a rest to your mental woes and worries and go inside hermit mode. Okay? And really give yourself the time to regulate your nervous system, to get that, do the journaling, do the journaling, do the counseling, do the spiritual retreats, get in your bag, set up these new friendships. Do what you need to do to really go inside and work on yourself. Because when you do, and you remove yourself away from this toxic environment that you were in, you are going to do so much better. And you are going to find a deep level of peace that you never even knew could exist in your life. That you've never really felt in your life before, because of the chaos and because of the environment that you were in. This is giving me really strong, like, environmental, emotional dysregulation, like the town that you were in, or the people that you were around, or the job that you were doing, or something was really keeping you unstable. And it's giving me this energy of you walking away and leaving this behind, and you finding that energy inside of, finding that peaceful energy inside of yourself. And if you have been in this energy right here, okay, where you're kind of like emotionally recovering from this, especially if you were in a situation where you did live in a household with an abuser, or you did live in a household with like some kind of energy vampire, or in some kind of situation like that, it might have taken you a little bit of time to really kind of say, these are your feelings, these are your emotions, these are your issues, these are your problems, and this is actually me. This is how I actually feel. And if you need professional help to kind of separate out those two things, do what you need to do to get it. Or if you need to journal, or if you need to, put yourself out there in self-help groups or whatever it is, read the books, or read, like I said, take the classes, do whatever you need to so that you can get that kind of sense of, actually, this wasn't me. This wasn't me being my true self, who I really am. Because there's something here about the fact that these people were like, you're just like us. You're us. You're no different. If you left us, you'd struggle just the same way. But Spirit is here to tell you that if you left this behind, you're going to find that you actually have this amazing free feeling. And see here how you have like the shell, and like the fish are like swimming and dancing around. You are going to find those people, places, and things that help you to feel that way, that help you to rediscover that energy inside of yourself. That you will find that again. That you will find this peace. Maybe even a peace you've never felt in your life before. And Spirit is saying, once you find that peace and that sense of self inside of yourself, you will have created a new foundation. You know, that new pentacle for your 10 of Pentacles to grow from. Come on now. You will find that true sense of self and sense of balance inside of yourself. Come on now. Queen of Wands. Yeah, because there's some kind of energy exchange or energy absorption or something that was going on here. Yeah, and Spirit is saying that once you remove yourself from that, you will actually have this ability to have this clean energy exchange with Spirit, with the higher realms, that will help you ground in healing energy instead of this 5 of Wands energy. Because there's something here about your environment or the people that you were around or the family that you were raised around or the environment that you were raised around that really caused a lot of dysregulation in your energy field. You were holding on to a lot of pain and a lot of trauma and a lot of just yucky energy. And that when you remove yourself from this, you will actually be able, you will use that same skill, that same ability of absorbing the energy around you to actually absorb clean, good, high vibrational energy. And not this energy of like, you're the problem, you're the issue, you're the scapegoat, you're the emotional one, you're the one that's doing this and that. You know, this is giving me like a sense too here of like reactive abuse kind of energy as well. That's what it feels like, you know. And if you don't know what reactive abuse is when somebody basically like goads you into having like a really traumatic, like triggered reaction, you know. So this is somebody doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, doing a lot of passive aggressive whispering and you know, and putting you in no-win scenarios to the fact where you get to a point where you explode and then they get to go, see what I'm talking about? Look how crazy they are. I told you that they're the issue, that they're the problem, you know. Or it's a situation where somebody puts you in like really abusive scenarios over and over and over again. And then when you finally have the strength to stand up to that person, you know, that person has been laying the groundwork that actually, no, you're the abuser. No, actually, you're the crazy one that snaps. No, you're the one, you know, having issues and making a problem and rocking the boat, you know, when people don't see all the abusive things that happen behind the scenes, you know. Yeah. And Spirit is saying that they are really getting you into this place where you can rediscover your strength, your will, your understanding that you're not that scared, weak person that they all wanted you to believe that you were. That you don't have to think of yourself as a victim, or you don't have to think of yourself as the problem or unworthy or whatever it was. And I just keep noticing in so many of these cards, there is like this kind of like smoke energy. It's like you're burning something and releasing something. Even here in the 10, there's the smoke from the chimney in the background. And here in the Lover's card, there's this kind of energy of like burning and releasing something. This kind of foggy, smoky, kind of almost kind of polluted energy is what it's giving me. And in the transmutation and the release, right? Because that's what that is. You're transmuting. When you burn something, you take it from one state to another, right? And there's something here about you transforming from one state to another, and then you are releasing all of this old nasty energy from inside your auric field, from inside your emotional body, from inside your mentality that is causing this emotional or spiritual dysregulation, this kind of dysregulated state that you have been living in, right? That you might have become accustomed to. And you might have thought, well, this is who I am. This is who I've always been. But when you go through this change and you release this, and you have this energetic release from out, from within you, you will be able to actually finally see yourself clearly for who you actually are. No, I'm not the issue. No, I'm not the problem. No, I'm not the weak link. No, I'm not, my emotions and that they're not, they don't have to make me feel like I'm being easily controlled by someone else. I can take control of my own destiny. And that's what this is giving me here. Here you are, the Ace of Wands, burning and releasing, and you're realizing in this transmutation, you're realizing like, wow, I'm really releasing and letting go of this. And I'm also noticing here, there's the book here, again, that's released. And the book is giving me the sense of truth. There is some kind of truth that is being released here. And like I said in the very beginning, you're releasing and letting go of this truth here, of this story, right? For some of you, maybe that is your destiny, is to tell your story. Is to tell the truth of what really happened. Is to take back control of your image, of who you are, of allowing these people to write the story of who you are. Taking back the power and saying, no, that's who you wanted me to be. That's who you projected onto me to be. That doesn't have to be me. And the truth of the matter, for a lot of you, that the person that they projected on you that you were is actually who they are. Because for a lot of you, you're acting as this mirror, which is why you were the issue, the problem to begin with. Because these people didn't want to see that you reflected back to them that they weren't in the best energy themselves. Yeah, I'm seeing people looking at you when you were a child and seeing a light inside of you and feeling the absence of that light within themselves and feeling very triggered and having their demons, their darknesses feel very triggered by the light that you held within you, by the innocence that you held within you. And instead of being in a position of being like, wow, we have the amazing opportunity to preserve this light inside this child. We have the amazing opportunity and the responsibility to protect this light inside this child. These people were like, well, I'd rather put out the light. I would rather douse the light. I would rather confuse this person and hide their light so that they can't see it. Because I don't want to see it. Because I don't have that same, I can't see my light. I don't have that light. I have been jaded, or I've allowed the things that I've gone through to put victim mentalities inside of me, to put whatever kind of limiting belief systems on me. So I'm going to turn around and say, oh, you think the world's a beautiful, light, wonderful place? It's not. I see, and I'm sorry this could be triggering for somebody, but I see somebody dealing with a parent that might have had some kind of alcohol abuse issues. Because I'm seeing a person here, like they're swaying and they're like, and like a kid is just like playing in the room, like, ha ha ha, da 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 da, and they're like, what are you doing in here? Like you're just so happy. Why don't you just shut up? Why are you making all this noise? Why are you doing that? Why are you happy? The world's a terrible, horrible place, and I'm gonna teach you that it is. And I'm so sorry if you had to deal with that. I'm so sorry. And I know that, and I'm not trying to give you my pity. I'm just saying, babes, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. But I know that you are persevering over it and that you are healing from it. And if you haven't found the strength inside of you yet to break away from this and to get the help that you need, whatever that is, to heal from this, start down this road. Because Spirit is reaching out to you, telling you that you can heal from this and you can move on from this. And the world doesn't have to be this miserable, dark, horrible place to this person. That's the world they lived in. And they saw that you weren't carrying that pain that they were carrying. And they were so much of a coward that instead of wanting to protect you from that pain, they wanted you to share in that pain with them. They wanted you to carry that same pain with you. And I'm sorry that you had such a cowardice person around you. Because that's what it is, you know, and we have to be honest with ourselves about that. And so, you know, I can be honest with myself and say that for a long time in my life, I carried that cowardice energy inside of me. And that it's still something that I am trying to fight over and to break my way out of. You know, to break my way out of my own limiting belief systems that were passed down to me and my family. Being a mouthpiece for spirit does not take away and does not make it any easier for me to break my own karmas, right? And that's what this feels like. This feels like, you know, you realizing, actually, this wasn't me. This is actually, these aren't my fears. These are your fears. Actually, this isn't my weight to bury. This isn't my karma to bury. It's actually yours. Actually, this isn't, you know, my strength is going to come out of releasing and actually realizing that I don't have to hold on to this, that there is strength in letting this go and not allowing this to define me. That that my strength doesn't have to come from showing that I will continue to bear this weight of this. And realizing that there is a different type of strength that it takes to actually say, fuck this, I'm not carrying this anymore. It is a type of strength that I think a lot of people in your friends or in your family or in the environment that you grew up in, wherever you were around, that there weren't a lot of people around you showing you that that's the type that was a type of strength, right? These people kind of carried their trauma and carried their fears around on them like a barrier, like a wall, like a armor, like a suit of armor. Not realizing that while the suit of armor might protect you, it also weighs you down. It also disconnects you from real connections. You know, it also, there is a strength in realizing that actually, it takes a different type of strength to be vulnerable and to have the balls, basically, right? No gender required here, but to have that sense of character of yourself to say, actually, I want to take the suit of armor off and I don't want to walk around with it on because the weight of it is too heavy for me to bear. And it might have been the choice that you made, but it doesn't have to be the choice that I made. And if staying in proximity to you forces me to have that suit of armor on, I am cutting myself short. I'm cutting myself down. I'm cutting myself short of the person that I could be, because this suit of armor keeps me from expanding. It keeps me from growing. It keeps me from reaching out. It keeps me from being the large, big version of myself that spirit and that me, before I came here, decided I wanted to be. I was having a talk with one of my managers the other day, and we were having this talk. She is deciding that that she's exploring her spirituality, and she knows that I am very open about my spirituality and my things and my, the witchcraft that I practice and things, and so she's exploring those things for herself. And she was talking to me. We actually started talking about astrology stuff. That's how this conversation started while we were at work. And then she started talking about some of her difficulties that she's been through in her life. And she was saying, and I was just saying, I thought, I do hold the belief that we choose, that we choose the life that we have to come here. Hold on just one second. Excuse me. But and she turned to me and she was like, yeah, excuse me, I think about some of the effed up things that I've been through in my life, and I think like, what the F was I thinking, choosing to come here and have the life that I've had? And I was like, well, honestly, a big thing that has really helped me, and it's something that honestly I still struggle with sometimes to see it, to see it this way on a day-to-day basis. But I've talked about this here on the channel before, that our greatest fears and our greatest challenges that we have in life are exactly the things that our higher self wanted us to come here and wanted to learn. So the things that some of the challenges that we chose are because we wanted to push ourselves. We wanted to challenge ourselves. We wanted to say, I'm going to come here and I'm going to go through these things, but I'm still going to learn and I'm still going to grow, and I'm going to see it as a way that I am strengthening and bettering myself. And we don't always make it through those challenges. Sometimes those challenges put the very limiting beliefs that I'm talking about in our heads. But a lot of us that feel touched to come here and to have an awareness of these challenges, especially of things that, we can say, well, my mom went through that, and my dad went through that, or my grandma went through that, or my granddad, that we can see that kind of generational energy happening, and we have the strength and the courage to have the awareness. We're the people the souls that came here and decided to break our families free of those things. That we chose to come here with the burden of knowing, of the burden of the sight, and that it doesn't have to feel that. At first, it can feel like a burden to see those things, to have an awareness, but it only feels like a burden when you're trying to ignore them, and when you're trying not to look at them, and you're trying to run away from them. But it is a gift to see that, this is BS, and I don't want to go through this anymore. I don't want my kids to have to go through this, or I don't want my little cousins to have to go through this. I want to show people and my friends and my family and in my community that you can do better, that you can make a better choice, that you can get out of this situation, and you don't always have to be trapped in these cycles of violence, or in these cycles of abuse or addiction, or whatever it is that you are trying to break your family or just break yourself out of. That we had the strength of will and of character as a soul to come here and say, put me through the hardship, because I will come here and I will overcome it. And she was just sitting there listening to me, and she just started crying. And I was like, oh, babes. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make... And she was just like, no, like, I feel so empowered. Like, I feel that deeply. She was like, I have chills, like, running up my body. Like, I feel that. And I'm like, yeah, that's soul recognition. It's your soul telling you, like, yes, you did. You did not come here to be weighed down, to be beat down, to be a victim. You came here to overcome. You came here to choose the better path for yourself, despite all the effed up stuff that you might have been through in your past. You didn't choose to come here to be punished. You didn't choose to come here, to be made a fool, or to be embarrassed, or to carry weight or guilt or shame or pain. You came here to let go of it. You came here to rise above it. And to carry that weight not only for yourself, but for the people that come after you, in whatever way that is. And that's the message that Spirit is putting on me to tell you. Basically, this whole reading is about that. It's about a lot of readings on my channel are about that same thing. You're not here to outrun. You're not here to forget about. You're not here to suppress. You're not here to pretend like it didn't happen. You are here to face it. You are here to release it. You are here to really genuinely let go of it and be able to walk away from it, and to truly help your lineage, your bloodline, the people around you, to step into a different timeline, to step into a different world. And although it can be a very painful position to be in, it is also a very powerful position to be in. You hold a lot of power, and you hold a lot of strength, and you hold a lot of will, of character, of strength. It is not the faint of heart that come here to earth. It is not the faint of heart of souls that decide to come here and be incarnated on any planet. We're here to learn and to grow, to challenge ourselves. And I know there's a lot of people out there that mindset, it might not make them feel better. It might not empower them. It might not strengthen them. If you are one of those people, then you are obviously more than free to find whatever belief system that helps you feel empowered, that helps you feel stronger. Please, I encourage you to go out there and find what it is. Find what it is out there, or find what it is. Always find what it is and check in with what's in here. Always. This is just what's helped me. And if it helps you by me sharing this, great. And if it doesn't, please, go find that is going to help you. I got all tongue-tied at the end right there. But yeah. So that's what Spirit, this is just your reminder that Spirit is telling you, you're not, because there's something here about you feeling like you're weak or like you're incapable or just, and it is like this false image of self. And Spirit is saying that when you walk down this path of walking your authenticity, you will see the truth of the situation. You will see what it really is. And for me, I have found that it comes in stages. It comes in stages of, fear and anger, anger at the people that made you feel less than, and then a deeper knowing of understanding that those people were doing what they did, although, you don't have to forgive them and it doesn't make it okay, but they did it because they were suffering from their own traumas and from their own fears and from their own lack, and then you step into a deeper compassionate state where you can have understanding, but you still have discernment. You still have boundaries. You still have the ability to say, no, I understand why you did what you did, but that doesn't make it okay. And that doesn't mean I'm going to let you back in my life, or I'm going to give you a place in my life, or that I have to even, think about you or have anything to do with you. And that's where the real growth is. That's where the real change really comes in for yourself. Really walking yourself through those steps, through those stages, and having a deep level of love and compassion for yourself, because walking down this journey is about finding that true sense of love that you should have for yourself, love that you should have for the world, for the universe, for your path here that you're walking. And it's not always easy to feel in love with your life or feel in love with yourself, especially when you are really taking long looks at not only other people, but you're going in those hermit modes. You're taking long looks at yourself and you're like, ooh, I'm not proud that I did this. I'm not proud that I said that. I'm not proud that I did this. I was being a coward when I said that, or when I ran away, or when I acted like this, or, I wasn't being disciplined when I when I did this or said that or ate that or, smoked that or did this or whatever, but I can always start over and I can always begin, and you don't always have to start over at the beginning, but you can always decide today's the day that I'm going to have more self-accountability for myself. And the other side of that is having self-love, right? I have love because I'm holding myself accountable. I have love for myself because I'm undoing the lies that I have been taught about myself. I have love for myself because instead of meeting that with anger, I'm trying to meet it with understanding and compassion. I have love for myself because I'm saying no. I have love for myself because I'm saying yes. And understanding the difference of when it's really self-love to say either one of those. So I wish you strength and courage on your journey forward. Keep going. And just the same message. The more that you break away, the more that the truth is going to be known. You know, and I feel like there's a lot of you that are like, what about my justice? What about my truth? What about, when are the people that did me dirty? When, you know, the people that lied on me, the narcissists that, you know, smeared my name or distorted, you know, or have themselves and other people living in a distorted world image of themselves and of me. We can't control that. We can't control when somebody else is going to see the truth and when they're ready to see the truth. All you can do is live in your truth. All you can do is walk away and say, you know what, I'm not living in this distorted reality and I'm not confirming it for you. And it's just that. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to be, excuse me. Yeah, it's like I'm bored. I'm bored of this. I'm bored of you. I'm bored of, it doesn't feel good like it used to. Because at some point, it's just what you were used to. Or, you know, the drama of it. If it, you know, the drama of it. Or it might have been exciting. Or it might have just been what you were used to. And I feel like you're going to find that emotional regulation might be boring. And boring is good. Being at peace is good. You know. And that it gives you so much more room inside of yourself to have the creativity, the expansion, the passions, the you know, the studying, the understanding yourself and the world around you. That when you stop having to walk on eggshells, or when you stop having to worry so much about them, well, what will they think? Well, can I say that because what would they do? Or what will they think? Or what will be the consequence of me not tiptoeing around there? What will be the consequence of me not bending myself to the distorted reality that they want to live in? The consequences of it, the true consequences of it, are actually going to be that you have so much more room for yourself. So much more time for yourself. So much more energy for yourself. But to keep you trapped in their distortion, they have made you believe that your world is going to fall apart, that there's going to be some huge negative consequence. I mean, for some of you, there might be a cutting off. There might be a lack of support from them. There might be a lack of financial, you know, there might be a lack of money from them. There might be a, you get out of my house, or, you know, I'm not going to help you with this anymore. And you know your situation better than I do, but having that room for your freedom is the challenge that you're being given by your soul self. Choose you. Choose love. Choose to see this distortion for what it really is. Choose to see their lies for what it really is. It's control. It's not love. It's not support. It's not companionship. It's control. You do not have to mirror their distorted reality anymore. And Spirit just wants you to know that. All right, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I hope that this reading brought you the love, light, or clarity that you were looking for. If this resonated for you, let me know down in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe, do the YouTube things. You guys know what to do. If you feel guided to get a personal reading or any of the services that I offer, my contact information is down below. Thank you guys so very much. Okay. And thank you to your angel spirits, guardians, ancestors, masters, and guides for guiding you here to get this reading. Thank you to my angel spirits, guardians, ancestors, masters, and guides for guiding me through delivering this information as well as keeping me safe. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you lovers in the next one, okay? Bye!